Hey everybody, it's Celeste. I'm sorry it has been a long time. I have been battling a horrible case of mealybug on top of also needing to do a lot of cleanup. I've had a couple of weekends where I've needed to thin out a lot of the plants in the backyard, but I thought what I would do is show you some of the cool setup that I have. I've just put together in my patio area. And it's got some of my collectibles and some are just plants that I love, kind of thing. But I thought I would show you some of this and some of what I've been up to. I had this furniture was actually a gift from my parents. And those are actually fire tables in the middle. And what is in the center, walk over here for you, is a crested Halloween aeonium. It's one of my bigger ones that I've got. And what's really, really cool about this particular location is there, as you can see, because the way the plant's growing, there's a ton of growth on this side. But this is basically, it's a crest, but it's just growing like crazy. And I love this thing. I've had it for forever. There's one side of it that's really cool, so I'll show you that in a second. I'll walk around on this side so you can see this thing is like growing down like this, which is pretty awesome. Never seen a crest do that before, so that's pretty interesting, right? To see it kind of dropping down and doing its thing here. So I thought that was really, really beautiful. It's one of my, I use it as a centerpiece basically. And then what you might notice behind it is what I built. So this is basically where I have all of my collectibles, and I have an outdoor TV and a whole thing like that. But basically I got these off of Amazon, and what's cool about them is they have metal legs, so you can see the legs down at the bottom. And this whole area is actually a covered pergola for me, so I'm able to control the water, I'm able to control the temperature. It gets really, really hot in my backyard. You guys have heard I have kind of temperature extremes because I'm in zone 9B. So this is a really cool little area for me, but has always been a challenge in this corner for what to do with it. And so when I saw these cabinets, and they're ridiculously inexpensive. I'll put the link to them in Amazon. But when I saw these cabinets, I was like, this is perfect because of the metal legs. I don't have to worry about the water. And they're so inexpensive. Something happens, no big deal. So I went ahead and I did that. What I also did is I put in, these are grow lights. So there are 2 grow lights here shining down on my stuff. I am not going to leave it this congested. I'm definitely going to take some of this out. I'm waiting for the 3rd grow light to show up, and that's going to go in the house. I have some more cabinets that look similar to this inside the house, but for now, this is where I'm storing a lot of my collectibles. And you know, again, some of these are just plants that are important to me for various reasons. For example, this little guy right here, this was one of my very first plants. So, and it's, you know, clearly going crazy. And so, you know, again, it's just sentimental to me. This is a crested throwweed. It's an aeonium, but I've actually never seen one of these since. It was not happy because it had a ton of mealybug, and I actually tried to do sprayed it with neem, oiled it, the whole thing, insecticidal soaped. With that whole round, didn't work, so I actually had to use the systemic. The one that I use is bonite. This time of year is particularly bad for a mealybug in my area, and this year in particular, I don't know if it's just the heat that we got really early or what happened. I'm always battling them, and they're the worst. The worst for any of the aeoniums that are dark red for some reason, and anything that's purple. They like to go after those the worst or the most. And this year they kind of were just going after everything. So I just noticed that this wasn't growing quite the way that it should be. And it lost some of its like longer leaves, which I kind of expect anyway. That's a tricky thing about aeoniums is they can look like they're going dormant, and in fact they're actually being attacked by insects. So I think moving forward, I am going to make sure that I am spraying them lightly once a month, especially during the summer months. And it's like a combo of, you know, a little bit of dish detergent, some of the insecticidal soap, some neem, and vinegar, apple cider vinegar. And it's just very light, very light, because you can burn the plants, and so it's more like a maintenance routine. So I think moving forward, I'm going to start doing that, just because I'm just really struggling with that. This is my roselle. That's crested. It's super pretty. It's happily growing under here. You can see some more of, and again, these are, you know, sentimental to me, important to me. Rosebud crest, which is very cool. I'm completely forgetting the name of this, which is funny. Gymnocalacium. I'll show you so you can see if you're interested in the name. And it's crested, so it's very cool, and it loves these grow lights. I will put the link to the grow lights because they're a special kind of grow light. And since I have put the plants under, this guy has not stopped blooming. So that's why it was kind of a test to put these out here. By the way, they are indoor grow lights. However, like I mentioned, this patio is watertight. And where I hung them, they're actually under my roof line, so it's a double water protection. So I'm not worried about doing that, but it was a little bit of a test. I just wanted to see, you know, what was going to happen if I did that, and the plants are going crazy, so that's really cool. Dudleya. This is a seed-grown Dudleya that I got from a local producer of these. He was actually in a movie about, you know, please don't wild collect Dudleyas, especially along the California, you know, coastline. Really awful thing to do. I'll put a link to his movie, and it's on YouTube, and it's really important. It's awful what's happened to our California coastline as a result of people wild poaching these plants. And so again, you know, please don't do that. But lucky because he grows these from seed, and so I was able to buy these at my local Cactus and Succulent Society. So some more of my beauties here. Almost looks like it's gonna give me more blooms. I don't know, we'll see. It's pretty cool. I think it's getting too big for that pot, so it needs to come out of there pretty soon. A very unhappy aeonium. This used to be huge. This was actually a pink witch, and you can see it's having a very hard time. I actually put an anti-fungicide on there because I was having problems with rot, and so far it seems to be doing okay. The combo of I have fans on, and then I also have the grow light aimed right down at it, which seems to be working. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see if I'm able to pull this back. But it used to be about 3/4 that size, so that's a big bummer. And sunburst behind it, which is one that I've had for a very long time. So these are just, you know, some of my little collectibles. This is just an Easter lily hybrid. I just haven't planted it yet, that's all. So that's why it's in a plastic pot. I'll remove it eventually and plant it out front, but just wanted to put it in a place where it was getting a little more sunlight, or artificial sunlight anyway, without burning up too much. This is a present from my friend Andrew, which is absolutely gorgeous. Just beautiful striking pattern on there, just absolutely awesome. It's a mustache aloe, which will eventually have to go in a much cooler pot than that, and kind of cool that it has a baby. But and when I got it, it wasn't, it's called a mustache aloe because you can see it. See, it looks like a mustache like this. And when I got it, it didn't have the baby, and it was really short, so it's actually grown pretty long, but it's cool because they'll just kind of like curl down. So if you get the right kind of pot, it just looks really cool. Do that. So, and this one up here, this is my Medusa Crested. Sorry, the light's being funky right now, but that's my crested Medusa, which is absolutely one of my favorite plants, and my big sense of humor. And some more. It's beautiful. I'm forgetting the name. I'll go back and look. Put it on this video for any of the ones. If I've forgotten the names, I'll put that on there for you. Another Dudleya, so beautiful. And again, these plants, you know, no wild collecting, right? Very, very endangered as a result. I guess they get a high price overseas, and so that's one of the things that's just sad. You know, destroys our coastline. This guy just, it's an Obesia, just got done flowering. It was actually a bright yellow bloom, so that was really cool. And these are cool because these little things right here, they're like fuzzy little dots all over it. Little baseball plant. So it's really, really cool. I love this thing. Got desert rose. So this is a tragic story. This desert rose back here is doing fine. That was a white one that I got. And I did okay with this one because I planted it and then I put it under this grow light immediately. This one, the stick, it's popping up. This is actually a collectible one. And I had just put it in a pot, and then I just, you know, stuck it where I thought, oh, okay, it's going to get enough sun and, you know, it should be fine. And it ended up, the caudex rotted, which is super upsetting because it used to be, I don't know, like 18, 20 inches tall, and it's a collectible, and I paid a lot of money for that. So I am crossing my fingers that this guy is going to root for me. So I'm sticking it under the same lighting as what I did with the original one, just to see what would happen. And so far, it seems to be okay. Squeeze it, see if it's, yeah. So it's not going soft on me. I don't know. Cross your fingers for me. I'm hoping, because that's really a bummer. And it's such a collectible, and I forget the name, so I'll have to go look. But it's such a collectible that it sells out all the time. So that was really a bummer, because I saw this on YouTube and I was like, oh, I have to have one of those, you know, just like it always goes, right? With these plants. And yeah, it rotted on me. So quite the bummer. So anyway, some other just, you know, and little plants. Clearly this guy needs more water. So unhappy Phonocapensis. And I have some others over here, and again, you know, I don't have the grow light over here, but I am going to move most of these guys. Another one of these guys, which is super cool. Oops, sorry, try to stay out of the light. Really, really, really cool markings, just amazing. So, you know, I'm going to move some of these in the house once I get the new grow light. It'll create more space. But I'm definitely learning my lesson around making sure that, you know, each of the plants is getting enough of the light, and then also needed to put in some fans. So that was another cool thing that I did. So I'll show you, pan up to those. So I added 3 fans out here. And these are little cheapy fans. I think they were like 25 bucks on Amazon. Couldn't believe how ridiculously inexpensive these things are. So it just routed the electrical. Again, covered patio, so I can do that. And just routed the electrical along there. Those 2 plants right there, those are the watermelon plants. So you can see they're already starting to grow. I just put them in there as cuttings. and they're already going crazy. And I love these. You can see some of the like little fatter ones that clearly have roots. So those are just the coolest thing ever. These lanterns I got on Amazon, believe it or not. And they're absolutely gorgeous, huge. I think that middle one is, I want to say 2 feet tall, a little over 2 feet tall. And what I did is I put have candles sitting inside there, so they light up. And they're just like the remote control candles that you can get. It's not like super bright, so what I'm thinking is maybe I'll put in fairy lights or something, maybe solar fairy lights, and then figure out how I think the problem I always have is in the middle of this area trying to get the solar fairy lights to the place where there's enough light coming in so that they charge. That's my biggest problem. But anyway, so this is you can see it's quite a big patio area. Moved a fern that I had. Weirdly, I had a fern in the in my yard, so I moved that. Didn't quite fit with everything. Oh yeah, I forgot. Look at this guy. I mean, how cool is that? And of course, because I'm a video, I'm totally forgetting the name right now. My dog's coming over and bugging me. But what a little stunner, right? Just absolutely so beautiful. And when it showed up, my son was looking at it and was like, is that real? Because the leaves are they're like this waxy green. Like, maybe you can see if I get up close. You can see how, I mean, they're so green, so dark green, and this like waxy shiny. It's just the coolest thing. It's the coolest thing ever. And then look at this trunk. It looks like it's like 150 years old. Just super, super cool. So, and then this is another one of my original plants, and I just repotted it because it was actually rotting. It was just super upsetting. I don't even want to talk about it. I'm so bummed out about this right now. And then a couple of my other stuff that is just in the process of rooting. I think this is like the weirdest looking thing. It looks like some sea monster coming out of that pot. And a corn cob in the back. It was just really cool. But again, I mean, who can pay attention to all that? Look at that little guy. Just the coolest little thing ever. So anyway, I'm still in the process of cleaning up some of this stuff. So it's just a bunch of my stuff that I use when I'm repotting and things like that. And this, I actually work in technology, so I call this my plant backlog. But basically what I did is I went online and I found this relatively cheap bar setup that you could get, like whatever size you want it, and then the chairs. I'll try to remember to link to all of this. But I got these, and then what I did is I bought countertop paint that has like the acrylic that goes over the top. So this was originally wood, and I just painted it because I wanted it to be waterproof. Otherwise, that thing was going to die. And especially because, where it's sitting, it's probably going to get hit by some level of rain, although I'll, close the curtains. But I painted it and I gave it like a faux marble. You can kind of see it right here. I gave it a faux marble top to it. Which I thought was kind of cool. But anyway, this is my plant backlog. It's things that I need to take care of that I haven't, and or things I need to plant. And then there is my black mage crested aeonium, which I've shown you a couple times before. And I suspect this got mealybug. I could never actually find them, but it just was acting weird. It just scared me. Because this thing, I mean, it's like absolutely gorgeous, right? But it just was acting weird. Although it's my first year with this, so who knows? But it just, made me pretty nervous. So I went ahead and sprayed it, put some stuff on there. I thought this cat was like super adorable with the little tail. So for the most part, these things are just kind of sitting here, and it's just a place where I can keep track of some of the stuff that I need to plant. Otherwise, I'll tend to forget about it, and then, you know, bad things happen. So anyway, that's got a little bar cart. I keep some of my watering stuff, and I've been slowly working on cleaning up and getting rid of some of the pots. I used to have 80 million pots everywhere, so you can see a lot of these. I am starting to get them moved out into the landscape more. This guy, another Halloween aeonium, and it used to be huge and gorgeous, and I think it was like a combination of mealybug and maybe just being in the wrong location, or I don't know. So anyway, it's just slowly not been doing a happy dance for me, but it looks like it's recovering, at least the main one, although this looks stressed, and I don't think it's rooted. You can see kind of like propped up a little doodad right there to help it out. And I put bonite on there, which is a systemic, so that should help. And then I also sprayed it. It seemed to start recovering quite a bit once I did that, and so I'm thinking, you know, the mealybugs this year, right? Just horrible. I just don't even understand. It was like just bad news. Anyway, this one I'm totally forgetting the name of. Stefan something or other. I'll add it to the video before I post, but I just got this one. This little scary because I was squeezing it when I first got it and it was like squishy, so I was thinking, oh no, here I go again, like similar to the desert rose, it's gonna totally rot. Nope. Apparently these are like super growers, and it actually, you know, once it started getting some water on it and got into the soil, it started going crazy. And yeah, I'm pulling on it and it's already in there. I'm like, seriously, I think maybe I planted that like 5 days ago. So this is going to be an aggressive grower, and it's already got like little leaves and everything. So clearly, you know, happier camper. So it's supposed to have bright light. I'm going to keep an eye on this. It is sitting under my citrus tree. But if it starts looking like it's not liking as much sun, because this spot right here, you know, for the most part it's bright light, but it could get a little direct sun, and so I might have to move it if that's going to happen. But this could be one of the candidates, for example, that goes inside the house, or maybe as I move some of the other stuff, then you know, I'll go ahead and I'll take care of that, and just move it into the outside part. So I don't know, we'll see. But I think it's supposed to like look like an ivy or something. But I just thought that it's cool. I feel like my addiction with cactus and succulents is like slowly evolving. You know, I used to see these Codex plants like this when, you know, other people would bring them in, and I'm thinking, why do they like those? You know, why are those so cool? And then I feel like my addiction has progressed now to the point where I'm like, ooh, look at the Codex plants. So, you know, it's just, I don't know, maybe it's like disease progression, right? You can tell how far along you are in the cactus and succulent addiction when that starts to happen. And then a couple more, my little cute ones that I've got in a pot that I need to put something in. This is one of my very first aeoniums, which was super not happy about the hot weather. Of course, my dogs are playing behind me. Sorry about that. This is what crazy looks like. She's trying to play. That's Luna. So anyway, the rest of it, you know, other than putting all that in, and I'll pan back so you can kind of see. And again, a little too clustered, so I'll clean that out. But, you know, it's my little fun place. And try not to put the camera in the sun, which I just did, of course. So this I've been cleaning up. Again, tons of mealies all over, unfortunately, my aeoniums. So, but it did give me an opportunity to repot these. So those used to be in a bunch of pots, and I've actually taken them out now, and I put them in these larger, I don't know, low bowls, I guess is what you can call them. So I've got a bunch in there now, and I was able to put my Japanese maple back in the corner where it's a little more protected. It seems to really like it because it was kind of drying out, and now it's super green, which is really, really cool. Some of my epitheliums I actually put up in the tree. So some of them, they are starting to root. There's a whole bunch in there. And then I also have hanging lanterns, so it's really cool at night. When you come out here, it's just, there's hanging lanterns everywhere, solar lanterns. So it's kind of fun to see, you know, all of that. So inside this little terrarium, this is actually a crested aeonium. I think it's Halloween. Crested Halloween, and I just popped it in there because I didn't have any other place to put it, and it went crazy. And then I, a long time ago, put bromeliads up in this tree, and they have just gone crazy. And you can see I've got spider webs going nuts, but I have that all through there, but the bromeliads kind of took off, so that's been a lot of fun. If you don't know that about bromeliads, they do not need to be in soil. So you can actually mount them in like nooks of trees like that. It's really cool. And then there's Spanish moss. That's what you saw hanging down. And some of my Japanese maple, which is getting to the end of its summertime and ready to start dropping its leaves. That's going to be my next little fun adventure. So yeah, I've just been trying to get rid of a lot of the pots that I had. I just had way too many, and I don't like that look. You know, for some people that's what they like. They just like the pots everywhere, and they like the little specimens, and I don't. I want, you know, everything more like in the landscape, because I like to pretend like, you know, this could happen in nature. But you cannot, of course. But you know, I just like to have it more sitting in the landscape. So there was just way too many pots. So I went ahead and I pulled a bunch of the pots out. I got a bromeliad because this one is just the coolest thing, and it got a little scorched. But you can see it is just like so Dr. Seuss looking. Isn't it like the coolest thing you've ever seen in your life? So like 3 of those. Seriously, I have to stop watching YouTube, because every time I watch YouTube, I see a plant, I'm like, oh, I need to have that plant. And then I forget the name. So, you know, that's how that goes. This is another crested aeonium Halloween back here, which is, because it's outside, or out underneath the patio, you're kind of seeing more of a, you know, the coloring showing up. Pretty cool. I have calla lilies in there, just to, you know, kind of give me some height. As you guys know, I'm always fighting that problem. The tree aloe. So again, I'm just kind of embedding the pots, and pardon the leaves right now. You're gonna see a bunch of leaves down at the bottom. Didn't sweep over in this area, but you can see I'm just like embedding the pots a little bit more, the things that I am keeping in pots, and it's just to make it part of the landscape rather than having it separate. I've been pretty successful getting most of this put in, at least along here. I have more to do as we go through. You can see. And then this is my Medusa Crest back here, and you guys might have heard I repotted this actually because it was tilting over, and then I had to cut some pieces off because it was kind of getting crazy. And then yeah, I've got that one piece like shooting up, so it's not really looking like a mermaid's tail. But this is pretty cool. But I had to repot it because it had sunk down in, and then it was tilting over. And then there's more plants that I put in. So it's mainly just rearranging, cleaning up. I did have all the leaves gone, but of course, you know, they're all back now. The aeoniums are starting to come out of dormancy, so it's supposed to be super hot tomorrow. I think in the upper 90s, so I will have some umbrellas out and everything. But here's some more area. My dog trampled Grassula ovata, so that's not good. But for the most part, everything took. that I did over in the fountain area, which is really cool. Oh, behind the fountain in the back, you can see it just popping up. It's a desert willow. So when that gets flowers, it's supposed to get like anywhere from 10 to 15 feet tall. And then the flowers are supposed to look like orchids. So that's going to be cool. But this spot gets a little hot, so that was why I was putting that in. Just so that I could, just, you know, just a little bit of shade. Not a ton of shade, but just some. And then a bunch of jades. Those I planted originally just, again, to give me height or give me a backdrop. And now what I'm starting to do is bonsai them. Not so much with these guys because they're some of the newer babies and I did replant them. But eventually I will. And some aloes, pink witch, aeonium there. Podatorum, 2 years. Very, very long. And some of my aloes. You can see my dog is paying very close attention to something. Her sister making bad choices back there, and looks like she knocked over my cactus, so that's awesome. Some more bromeliads underneath the jade. You guys see how big this jade is. I mean, it's a monster. It's probably almost 4 feet tall, so pretty big. And then I was really lucky because I found a couple of crests, so I went ahead and planted those, and I think they're already starting to root. Nope, not yet. Okay, and this guy looks really unhappy right now. So again, it was just pulling a bunch of stuff out. I can do this time of year. Again, I live in a hostile climate, but I can do this time of year because I have the pergola above, and you can see I put like that fake ivy stuff up there. So it basically creates like a dappled light underneath here, and I can get away with cuttings and doing things like that. Even when it's hot, basically I can do that. And then the other night, I got my first dragon fruit flower, which was like the coolest thing ever, and I should have taken a video. I did take a picture, but I should have taken a video of it. I was so excited. But of course, with just one, you're not really getting a fruit because I don't have any pollen. But it was really, really cool to get that, and I'm excited about that. It means it's going to start fruiting, so hopefully next year I will get a bunch more flowers, and then I have a bunch of fruit coming. So super excited about that. Citrus is doing well. Cleared away a lot of the pots, so you can see if you've watched some of my other videos, you've seen I just had a ton of pots that were sitting here. So I have moved a lot of those. This is my thimble cactus, which is just going crazy. It's super beautiful. And I believe, yeah, this is Linnell's pot. So I will link out to her business information, but it was a pot that she created. Just thought it was really cute. I'm just keeping it here for right now. This is actually one of the ones I like to keep, a little more protected. So I'll move it, but I'm just out of space over there in my brand new grow light area. I'm now out of space already. And limbed up my desert museum tree. It's getting super big. I was looking at it the other day. I think it's probably about 20 feet tall now, so it should get 25, 30 feet. And was cleaning up a lot of the aeoniums along the back that I have planted because they were, again, the mealybugs. Like, how do mealybugs get up there? For real, people. How is that possible? It just blows my mind. So anyway, bonide for everything. Everybody gets bonide. Moved my Alplicatilis, which it's okay with so far. Put it in a nice pretty pot. Thought that would be cute. By the way, if you hear me snapping my fingers, I'm telling my dogs to stop going into the yard. Anytime I am filming, for some reason, they think that that's like the signal to go make bad choices. This area I just redid a whole bunch, and it's a little messy because things are not so happy that I moved them from their original place. So they're kind of falling over like that jade right there. And then of course this gets super messy from the bougainvillea down here. Normally the gardener comes on Monday, but this is a holiday, so. But anyway, I put in a bunch of the boulders. I cleaned a lot of this out, you know, basically got rid of a lot of the dead leaves and things like that. And, you know, put some more of the pots in the landscape, and then, you know, I'll continue doing that because, you know, like I said, I'm trying to get rid of that problem. Oh, I can't believe I totally forgot to show you guys this like really cool thing. Look at this. Okay, so this is another lesson in why you don't watch YouTube. This guy, so cool. And the one that I saw, some of this lady's YouTube channel, and she was the guy, where was he? I think Thailand. And that thing was like 5-6 feet tall. It looked like a tree. So anyway, really cool. I ordered one, and I guess they didn't have that one, so they sent me two. Asked me if I was going to be upset about it. I'm like, no. 2 plants is always better than 1 plant. 5 would be even better. So far they're doing okay. They haven't done anything weird. They're supposed to get like little tiny leaves on them, which I haven't seen yet. But they seem like they're doing okay. Although like some of them, it got really woody. So, but then these ones are more like green. It's weird. You can kind of feel the difference. So I think for the most part they're doing okay. And that was my. And then, you know, this pot is really cool. Oh, I went to this place, this pottery place. I did take video. So I will show you guys Pottery Planet in Los Gatos, which is relatively near me. And it's just one of the cool places that I went and visited. And so anyway, highly recommend going there. You can get a lot of really cool custom pottery. So from my other videos, you saw where I had replanted along here, and I had put in cactus. And I think my brain always just kind of wanted to go this direction with this. What was bothering me about this area, this whole side yard, was I didn't like how straight it was. It used to have like a super straight path that just went along here. And I just don't like that. I like the curves. And so that's what I did. That's, you know, basically I was super busy putting all that together. So this is more of like a little bit more of like my dry landscape area with all of my cactus over here. Madagascar palm. I have some mangaves, Mission to Mars, that are really starting to take off. So that's going to be cool. I'll show you in a second. One of them that got super big. And then another mangave over here. Luna. Thank you, Luna. That's enough. And then I have another desert museum tree, so this area gets too hot. So I want that to also be a little more shaded, so this one will get as big as the other one. And then started planting some of my other plants, and then of course, you know, I have my aeonium that are along the top. But also, so you can see, I brought the curve out like this. So it's not straight, and curved in over here. So the idea is basically I took a wheelbarrow through here, and if I can get the wheelbarrow through, then we're all good, right? A lot of my collectible aeoniums I put in here, they will actually get really big. Sorry about that. That was my air conditioner kicking on. So they will get super, super big. And okay, sorry about that. My air conditioner kicked on and it's super loud, and there was just no way that I was going to be able to talk and have that thing going at the exact same time. All right, so this is the brand new area that I just planted, so it gives you an idea of how small these plants are when I first put them in. And you know, in 2 years this will be completely covered, and I'll be coming through and thinning it out. So a lot of these are this aeonium, for example. This one's going to get, you know, 4 or 5 feet tall. This one back here, which is still, look at that, look, it just looks like Mealybug Haven. This one's called Octo 8, and it gets like 5 feet tall, so I need to come out and I need to spray it again because it's still struggling. Man, those mealybugs are just brutal this year. So anyway, I went ahead and planted this whole area out. I actually put a canna in, which is kind of cool, so that's going to be right there, and then some more bromeliads. Some of my aeoniums, and they're actually really liking it because they're starting to open up. So I'll show you in a second. This was a little bit of an experiment over here to see what would happen if I used to have shade cloth over the top, but I felt like it was just taking too much of the sun away, and I wasn't quite sure if it was going to work or not. But I decided, okay, I'm going to instead get these greenhouse panels and put it on top. And it's working because the plants are liking it. Like it's warm enough, but it's also cool enough. So they're just doing their thing under here, and I'm noticing that they're all super healthy. They've been in here about a week and a half, and they're already starting to grow like crazy, so that's pretty cool. Some more aeoniums. I think that one's called Big Bang. Can't quite remember, but some of the pieces broke off, so I had to pot them down at the bottom. And that is my sunburst crest over there in the corner, and it got hit by mealy. I mean, I'm like mealy everywhere, folks. Seriously, mealy everywhere. So I had to spray that one down like crazy, and been keeping an eye on it. It's recovering. That right side, weirdly, is recovering faster than the left side, but it is recovering. It looks much better than it used to. Luna, stay out of there. Luna. Yeah, you're gonna hear Luna's name a lot. Luna's my special dog. Epitheliums that I just repotted. My flying silk starting to go. Oh, I got a flower back here. Monkey tail. So that's really cool. I just moved this. I wasn't sure. Again, it always burns under the shade cloth, but it's not doing it underneath the greenhouse panels. So really cool. And then this is just a little, this actually lights up at night. It's kind of cool. If you can't see it, it's two people kissing each other. It's kind of cute, but it looks like a giant like tree kind of thing. Anyway, I put my bromeliads on there, or sorry, tillandsia. Ooh, I'm getting tired. Put my tillandsia on there, and then at night it lights up. It has little fairy lights on it, so which is pretty cool. Anyway, I'll move this guy from the front yard, and it keeps tipping over, although I suspect Luna is helping it with that, as she likes to have adventure time in my yard when she's not supposed to. I planted a banana. I think this is the, yeah, this is the red one. The blue is in the front. This is the red one. And then I have ice cream banana also. So far, no bananas. I mean, that's pretty small. It's not going to give me bananas yet. It usually takes like 2 years. But, you know, hopefully get some soon. Again, this is just the little side yard. This is where a lot of the aeoniums are. This is my shadier side. You can see lots of umbrellas over here. So I'm, you know, just controlling the light. You can see all the aeoniums. Different states. Some of them are fully growing, you know, not in their like most active growth state because they're all, you know, dormant right now, but some of them grow more. It's kind of weird than some of the other ones. So again, this is just because it's shadier, it's kind of like bright light. I can control it better over here, and so I tend to put a lot of the aeoniums on this side. This guy was one of the ones that just got nailed by the mealies. It's this particular kind. I noticed the aeoniums that have like the thin leaves like this and then are red. Those are the ones that get hit every single time. All the rest of them, you know, like they'll get it, but it's not to the level that these guys are. And then look at this beauty. It's called Cupid. And just never really went dormant. Kind of sat like that the whole time. Anyway, the only place in my yard that I'm allowing these monsters, because those you do not want to touch. That's just not fun. And these are some of my original. Again, got hit by mealy, so I am spraying those. They're starting to do a little bit better looking. They're opening up at least, and not so mad, but yeah, what a big bummer. Or just everything's just, you know, it's kind of on the struggle bus because of the mealybugs. And so I'm having to work to fix that. Luna, get out of the plants. Oh, people, I need more patience. Yep, and then this is Peacock. And every year Peacock gets hit with mealybugs. And you would think that I would learn, but no. So I didn't spray it in time, and of course that's what it got. I'm pretty sure at this point it's got to have root mealies. But anyway, it's starting to recover. You can see some of the babies over here starting to send out leaves and everything, so I think it's going to be fine. It's kind of a bummer. Anyway, and then this is a raised garden bed that I've got. I used to use it as a propagation station, which I don't do anymore. So that's just a little area I actually store, you know, if I have like cuttings or clippings or things like that, I'll put them underneath and just let them grow. And then more epitheliums. Really got into those this year because they're just like the coolest thing ever. And some more. So yeah, basically that's it. I can show you from this direction so you can see what I mean, that the curved path makes a big difference for the landscape when you're walking through here. Kind of creates the mystery, right? So when you're thinking about that in your yard, you know, really, you know, I mean, it's crazy, right? Because you're just, it's like that, but it just looks so much more attractive. Look at her. She's going in the plants again. Luna, no. Get out of there. Oh. Serious. Okay. So, yeah, anyway. Think about creating where you can create the curve path. Create the curve path because it really does a lot for the landscape. This was super boring. I'll try to remember if I've got a video somewhere where I can show you some, you know, what this used to look like. But anyway, last thing that I promised was these are the greenhouse panels. Again, I put the greenhouse panels up on the top, and then all I did was I took that like fake ivy stuff and put it over the top of it just to block a little bit more light. But I don't know if it's getting more or just getting better light or what's happening, but all of the plants just, you know, they seem to be doing much better than they were doing under the shade cloth. So go figure. So yeah, that's a tour of the backyard and all of the fun that I've been having. I've kind of ignored the front yard, which means it's like the Golden Gate Bridge. Once you've painted one end, you gotta head on back and take care of the rest. So I will be doing more videos in the front, and I promise I'll take you more along the journey of when I'm redesigning some of the beds. There's definitely a couple of those. Oh my gosh, Luna. The dog. There's definitely more of the beds. They need to be thinned out again because I've already, you know, they grow so fast. And it was actually one of my earlier videos. I think maybe I even did it like 6 months ago. So it'll be interesting. I'll show you, you know, just what 6 months of growth look like. Yeah. Crazy dog. Doing laps. She's big fun, folks. Here they come. All right. Well, thank you so much. Hopefully you've enjoyed checking out the garden and all of my hard work. It took me, you know, a couple of weekends couple of weeks to get done, but it is cleaned up and it's ready to go, and definitely in better shape than it was, and getting ready for fall, which should be coming here pretty soon after, you know, the next couple of 100-degree days. So anyway, I hope you had a good holiday weekend if you're in the United States, and get out in the garden, do a little bit, you know, you just one section at a time, and it slowly over time you make progress, even with these little monsters, garden monsters helping out. As usual, if you like the content or want to follow, please like and subscribe. Send me your comments, you know, give me your questions. I'll answer and help out if I can. And I hope you have a great rest of your week. Thanks so much. Bye.